So I'm going to do a love reading in this reading with the Rider-Waite deck, which is the one that I've used quite a lot of times before with you, because it's a nice deck. I like it. I like the symbology, and if you've been following my videos, then you'll be getting comfortable with this deck now as well. And also there are loads of other videos on YouTube about the Rider-Waite deck, and there are loads of websites as well with really helpful interpretations of all of the cards. So if you're interested in studying tarot and learning how to read tarot for yourself at home, then hopefully this video can help you to do that as well and can support that journey for you. I think it's a great deck to start off with. I also think it's a great deck to continue with as well, even if you incorporate other decks into your readings. Like you can use 2 decks at once, so you can always pull like one card from one deck and one card from another, or 3 cards from one deck and 3 cards from another, or even mix the 3 second level cards, and you can also use oracle cards as the second level cards, and that adds an extra element to the reading, and kind of like it gives you more to think about, more to read into, and it can also give you access to more information that you wouldn't have just got out of the initial single card. So that would be a suggestion to you as well, if you want to experiment with different decks, is maybe combine them. And when you're trying to learn at the beginning, also maybe like pull a card from the Rider-Waite deck and then find the corresponding card in one of your other decks, and try and read across the two and see how different your reading would have been from different decks, because I find that I read the cards differently every single time. Anyway, I think depending on the question, on the reading, on the day, on like the feeling inside, and the information that comes through, each card can have many different meanings. Each time we look at them, we pull out different images, different symbols, different thoughts and feelings. And in the same way that when we look at a painting, when you look at a painting, you don't always see the same story in the painting or the same emotion. It doesn't always transport you to the same place. When you listen to a song, maybe the journey of that song is different for you, for example. So just like try to think of it like that when you're reading. It's like there is no set way, there's no right or wrong. There are gentle suggestions as to what each card means, what the symbols are, what the colours are, and the message of it. But there is so much more that you can pull out of each card. It's not limited to that little tiny textbook paragraph. So just experiment, be free, play, and have confidence in yourself, and trust that the message that is coming through is more important than what the actual card says. Because I think that when we're doing readings, the most important thing of all is not so much a piece of card. It is the channeled message, the intuition, the inner message. Wherever it comes from. Different people receive their information from different places. Some people receive their information from multiple places. It can change from day to day, but that information, that inner knowing, is the most important thing, not the actual card. So I'm going to do this reading now, and it is a love reading, because I think romance is like one of the top things that people want to know about all of the time. I find a lot of the times when I'm working with clients and I'm doing readings, people will come to me and they'll have a question about their relationship, about their partner, or about if somebody that they likes them back, and then when we do the reading, it turns out that actually like the reason that they came and the thing that they need to work on is not actually anything to do with that relationship or that person, but something far deeper and more intimate. So it's a good starting point, but it's not always the only part of the story. There's often quite a lot more there, and I think when it comes to love and relationships and stuff, if we're in a relationship and it's not working, Why are we still in that relationship? And sometimes we have to question the deeper wound underneath that's keeping us there. That might not be the case. You might be there because you deeply love that person and you want to help them, and you feel strong enough within yourself to stand by them while they're going through that difficult time. But you know, there can be other reasons too, to do with self-love and respect and feeling empowered within oneself. So now the cards are thoroughly shuffled. Let's think of the question, which is, will this relationship last? Okay. So the first card we got is the Emperor. So the Emperor, this card, I feel stands for this person in a relationship right now. And that is why you're questioning the relationship. This man is sitting in a cold stone throne. He's in the middle of nowhere. It's a kind of hostile looking environment. There are like barren mountains in the distance. The sky is really red and angry and inflamed. It's almost like he's living somewhere, you know, that where they have lots of volcanoes perhaps. So there's all of this like energy erupting the whole time, and it's really angry and it's really hot and agitated and red. He is wearing a suit of armor underneath, which is made of steel. So again, it's like cold and hard, and it's like this kind of like protective layer all around him, so you can't get to the real him, you can't touch the flesh of him. And then he's dressed in red, and the red is for roots and grounding, but also the red could be to do with his rage and his anger. And it's kind of, this card is telling me right now that this man is really trying to deeply connect to his intuition and to come home to himself. And he's clinging on really tightly, and he's desperately trying, but he can't quite get there. He can't quite connect because he's surrounded by this rage, and he feels cold and dead and disconnected. Like something happened in his life to make him really sad, and a part of him is trapped in the past, and he doesn't know how to get back to the present without carrying this thing with him. And he's trying, and he really wants to shed it, and he's trying to use his intuition to help him, but this armor that he's got around himself is also protecting himself from helping himself. You know, it's like a barrier, it's like a prison as well as a protective shield. And so he can't get in, and he can't release his inner voice. He can't speak his truth because this anger is like shrouding him. And so the throne that he sits on, the place that he is coming from, is cold. And so when he's reactive, when he lashes out in anger, he can't take the responsibility for what he's doing. He can't feel the pain that he is causing because he is so consumed by this rage that is there as a barrier to stop him from feeling anything different. So it's like this rage is a shield, is an armor to protect him from going back into his past and dealing with whatever it is that he needs to deal with and release. But because of that, the real essence of him, the part of him that is young and innocent and loving and kind and enthusiastic and passionate and generous and loyal, is kind of like a large part of that is trapped in the past, like imprisoned, trying to get out, struggling to get back to the present, but unable to do so. And so you've got this person that isn't really there a lot of the time, because they're stuck inside fighting these inner battles, and yet they are like an emperor within the relationship that you have with them, and possibly within a lot of their life. It's like they sit there in their throne, they lord it up, they pretend that they are this certain person with all of this authority, with all of this knowledge, and you know, they present themselves as impenetrable. But yet if you look into their eyes and you stare, you look past that kind of veneer that is frozen, that frozen glaze, you will see that there is someone who is inside and who is trapped and who is trying desperately to heal themselves and to get back to get in, you know, into the present properly. So they might be difficult to be with right now, because they have things that they need to deal with, and it's not personal and it's not your fault, but it will affect you and it will challenge the relationship. And I guess whether you can be there and support that or not will be unique to you, will be individual to you. And the card moving forward to the future is like the way forwards for this person, and therefore for this relationship. And it's like the relationship needs to change into this card in order for there to be hope for you together, in order for there to be a future. And that card is the Knight of Pentacles. And it's basically saying like that this person has to kind of humble down a bit. They have to admit their limitations. They have to accept that they are not Lord of all, that they do not know the answers to everything, that they are not unreachable, that they are a person who lives amongst other people, who is part of a community, who needs other people, who needs to believe in other people, love other people, want to help other people, as opposed to just protecting and helping himself. And it's calling for more humility. It's calling for this person to kind of step down onto their throne and come you know, onto the ground and out into the village and the town with the people, and to join forces with the people and fight for the kingdom. Yeah, so whatever kingdom he is trying to lord over, he needs to come down and actually go out into the fray and fight for the people, be with the people, march for the people, speak for the people, but as one of the people. So as an apprentice, as a, you know, the knight fights on behalf of the people. So, you know, if he can turn his mind career-wise, because Pentacles are all about career and money, if he can turn his mind career-wise, work-wise, into a pursuit of service to help other people, if he can change his mindset so it's not just about himself and his own kingdom and his own spiritual, financial, and whatever gain, if he can make it more humble, then that is how he will release himself, come home to himself, free himself. He needs to basically get up on his dark horse. This knight is riding a dark horse. This dark horse is this man's baggage. It is his shadow. He needs to sit on top of his shadow and own it. He needs to go out into battle to help other people, armored up, in order to protect others, but not to stop himself from being himself, or from other people from being able to touch him. He's fighting on behalf of the downtrodden, of the needy, of the wounded, of those who have been through similar life experiences as him. So if he can find a compassionate pursuit, a pursuit that will serve the community as a whole, that's where he will find his grounding. That's where he will reconnect with his roots, and his heart will open and love will blossom, and he will be reachable, and his intuition will suddenly grow, and it will be all around him, and he'll be in connection with it all the time, and he will know what to do and when to do it, and he will be divinely guided. But it's, you know, it's a brave step, and it's a difficult step, and he needs to find his way down from the mountain first, alone, before he can then come into connection with the people. So in terms of the relationship, it's about whether you can or want to hold space for this person while they're going through this transition, because hurt people, and wounded people are very hard to get close to and to have an adult relationship with, a mature relationship with, because they're so volatile, and they go up and down and in and out of different states and different emotions. And so it's like, how much do you love this person? How much do you value your relationship with them? If you're not in a relationship with them yet, but you want to be, you know, you have to kind of ask, is this really right for you? Is this person right for you? Should you be taking this risk and making this sacrifice? Because it will require a lot of patience, a lot of time, and a lot of humility on your part, to be the wingman to this person, you know, because they will need your help. They will take your energy, your time, your advice. They will take from you, and in the first stages of this, they will not be able to give much back in return, if anything at all. And so it's like, are they worth it? Like, do you believe this person is the person that you are supposed to be with? If you do, then they're worth it. But if you don't, then maybe you need to question why you're moving towards this person, why you're chasing after this person, why you're putting up with this person if you're with them already. It's like, what is missing in you? What is wounded in you? What needs healing in you? But if you stay with them, then you get to experience this person, and this person could be an inspiration to the world. This person could bring so much change and so much hope. They're not just looking after themselves or fighting for themselves. They are for the people, of the people. And so in making a career for themselves, they will also help other people do the same in turn. So I hope that was useful for you. I hope it rang true. I hope it wasn't too challenging. If you would like to receive more answers, have a personal reading, ask a question about your situation, please do get in contact with me, either via YouTube or on my website, lemonrosepetals.com, where you can find out a lot more about me, or on my Instagram page, which is lemonrosepetals. So yeah, those are ways that you can get in touch with me, and please do. I'd love to hear from you. Okay.